إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعين به ونستغفره ونؤمن به ولا نكفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا ولا نصيرا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أنزله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا أما بعد. Scholars in Islam, brothers and sisters, define the deen of Islam as two separate parts. Shukr wa sabr. Shukr wa sabr. That's the whole deen of Islam. If it comes down to it, it's shukr and sabr. What is shukr? In the Arabic language, in order for us to understand what shukr is, in the Arabic language, when we say, when they used to say in Arabic, the Bedouins out in the desert, they used to see a camel, which is you feed him well, and it shows that he's getting strength. He's getting bigger, he's got a great arm. You say, that is ba'ir or shakur. Why? You give him the food and it shows. Shukr is for you to show the benefit or the bounty of somebody whoever has given you something. When you say, like somebody gives you a cup of coffee, what do you say? Thank you. Shukr. Shukr. Why? He gave you something. He did something for you. And the biggest shukr that we do in our deen is we do shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the bounty and the barakah and the ni'mah He has given us. And everything we're all about is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything we're all about comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The health, the wealth, the strength, anything we're all about comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the least thing we can do shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And shukr is not a concept that Islam came with. It's not something new. It is embedded in our hearts and our minds. The day when you got a 5-year-old kid, or maybe 3 or 4 years old even, he cannot even talk. When you give him a piece of chocolate, he looks at you with at least a little gratitude. He says, thank you. And if you could speak, you would say thank you. We teach him. So tell him, you know what? This feeling of gratitude, you translate it into words. You say thank you, shukran, gracias, whatever word, whatever language that you speak, you translate it into shukr. And shukr in Islam is an essential part. It's the half of the deen. Half of our deen. We do shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and everything we do, but we also do shukr to people. Do shukr to people. And Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam showed us the true essence of shukr to people, were not only for the live ones, but the dead ones. Look what he did with Khadija, al-Mu'mineen, radiyallahu anha as well. She was there for him. He was married to her for, a long time, and he had most of his children from her. And she supported him. She believed in him. She gave him the money, she gave him the support. She was there for him every day. And there's no way we can show the shukr that he showed her like the way the day when he was speaking to al-Mu'mineen Aisha radiallahu anha. Aisha radiallahu anha, she says to him, he says, Ya Rasulullah, you're continuously talking about Khadija, continuously talking about her, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has substituted her with somebody better, younger, more better looking, which is she's talking about herself. And Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam responded in an angry way. He said, La Allah, nobody, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not substitute her with anybody better. She believed in me when nobody did. She gave me when everybody did not. She was there for me when everybody left me. She was there for me 100% of the times when everybody was walking away from me. That is the true sense of shukr. The shukr in Islam is something so essential. We go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and say, Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. We do shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is essential. But are we doing shukr to people? Are we doing shukr to everybody around us? Are we doing shukr to our societies and communities that we are living in? Are we? Look at Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. Look at the essence of shukr. How far does it go? How did we Sahabi Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, he witnessed the Battle of Badr. The Battle of Badr is 317, 314 or so of the companions of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam witnessed this great battle. It was such an essential battle in the beginning of Islam that it was make it or break it. Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam was doing dua and his armpits were showing. He said, Ya Allah, if you destroy this 300 or so, Usbah, if this is gone, there's no more deen of Islam is going to be here on the face of the earth. That's how important that battle of Badr is. How did Ummah witness that battle? Years later, when the people of Quraysh, they violated the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. How did Ummah had an idea, had a thought in his head, but he thought that he does not have the lineage, he does not have the connections in Mecca where he migrated from. And he thought to himself, how about if I send them a letter, tell them about the intentions of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam after they violated this treaty with him, is that he's going to attack Mecca. I'm going to send them a letter telling him about his intentions. Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam was using secrecy, did not want this information to go out. And the wahy came to Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, he told him, there is a woman going from Medina to Mecca, and she's carrying a letter, is disclosing your intentions or your plans. So Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam sends Ali ibn Abi Talib, Abdullah ibn Rawaha, and he sends the Miqdad ibn Aswad, he sends the three after this Ajuz. She's on the camel, she's traveling from Mecca to Medina, and he knows exactly what she's going to be. They got to the point, and they go to give him the letter, and she says, I'm not going to give you the letter. And she says, what letter? And he says, Al-Kitab al-Ladha. She said to them, and they told her, says, either you give them the letter or we take off your clothes. SubhanAllah, she was not even a Muslim at the time. She refused to take off her clothes. She goes, here's the letter. She had it over. And that's a small letter, a small indication for us to see the people today who are women today who are so willing to take off their clothes for nothing. SubhanAllah. Anyway, how did Mubattah get the news and the letter came back to Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam? The companion said, Ya Rasulullah, one of them said, Umar al-Khattab, he said, Ya Rasulullah, let me cut his head off. This is a treason. This is a traitor. He's divulging the secrets of Islam, the Muslims, to the kuffar. Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam says, Ya Umar, how about if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the people who witnessed the battle of Badr, he says, If'alu ma shi'tum fa inna Allah qad ghafara lakum. How do you know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the people who witnessed the battle of Badr, do what you want, I have forgiven you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did shukr to this man. Look at this deed of witnessing this great battle. Did shukr to him. That is the shukr. When we give value, when we give status, it's not just empty words we talk about. And nobody returns the shukr like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything we do shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we do it for ourselves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not benefit from our shukr. We only do it for ourselves. It's been said that there was this great alim, and later in the year 200 or 250 or so, his name is Ma'ruf al-Kalafi. Ma'ruf al-Kalafi was a great alim. He's a great worshipper of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he was a great alim. His neighbor was a Majusi. He was not a Muslim. And he's trying to make da'wah to him. He's trying to have him enter Islam continuously. And this man refused every single time. One day, and he was very rich, subhanAllah. He was very rich. The Khalifa at the time got wind that this man is a Majusi, he's not a Muslim, and he has a lot of money, and he's not paying enough taxes. He's not paying enough money. So he sent his worker to him and says, take 1,000 dinar from this guy. So the Majusi, which nobody knew how much money he had, he was completely broke. He had no money left. So when the money is gone, the first time in his life, he goes to the masjid. He enters the masjid and he started making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He He started to make dua, and he started making salah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the masjid. The first time in his life. This is the sun worshipper who's been worshiping the sun for most of his life. The first time in his life he goes to the masjid to make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. While he's making dua, he's making salah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him the hidayah. So quick, so fast. Overnight. You never know. He was sitting there prostrating, tearing, weeping, making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ma'ruf al-Kalafi, he walks through the door, he finds somebody who's prostrating. He does not know who he is. He's like, who is this man? Very early before Fajr, he's making his sujood in the middle of the masjid. Who is this guy? He did not see his face. Then all of a sudden, the door of the masjid opens up, and the worker of the Khalifa, the king, walks through the door and goes, I'm looking for this Majusi man. And Ma'ruf al-Kalafi goes, how can that be? He's not here. This is a masjid. He said, no, his family told me that he's here. So Ma'ruf looks up and he said, that must be him. That's the guy who's making the sujood. So he walks up to him, and after he finishes up his sujood, he gets up and showing up that was the Majusi, the sun worshipper. He's there making sujood for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the worker of the Khalifa, he tells him, he says, the Khalifa wants to see you right now, in the middle of the night, even before Fajr Salah. So they take off, they go to the Khalifa, and the Khalifa was waiting right at the door of his own castle. He goes, I will return to you the 1,000 dinar, I'm going to give you another 1,000 dinar on top of it. And the Majusi looks at him and says, what happened? He goes, last night I had a dream. I saw the Sahaba, the companion of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, having 2 eyes. And I saw Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam walking in the middle, walks up to me with nur, light, surrounding him. He's telling me, ordering me to return the 1,000 dinar back to you. Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam makes shafa'ah to this man, walks in the middle, in the dream, and we all know that nobody could pretend or say that he could see Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, and the shaitan will never take the shape or the placement or the name of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. If any of us, any Muslim ever, truly sees the picture or sees somebody in the dream that is Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, making sure that he is Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, no questions about it. And anybody who makes up the slide, the hellfire is waiting for him. So the Khalifa says, I saw Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam in my dream, and he's making shafa'ah for you, for me to return you 1,000 dinar. And the sun worshipper of the Majusi goes, I have no need for this 1,000 dinar. I've been worshipping the sun now for all my life, and I get nothing out of it. And I go to the masjid one night, I make sujood and I cry and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, send Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam in the dream for him to make shafa'ah for me. That is shukr. That is shukr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is waiting for you to make shukr. Do shukr. Do shukr to yourselves, to your communities, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open up for you horizons. Will show you things that have never been seen before. Things you've never heard of before. Things you never thought was possible before. I mean, do you think yourself, you're so small, you're so tiny, you're not? You're not? You're big. You do the deed, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will deliver for you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not going to benefit from anything you do. All the benefit goes back to yourselves, to your family, to your wife, to your children, to your community. Everything you do, it always comes back to yourself as a Muslim, as one man. Not for a while maybe. It could be after a while. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will deliver. There was this wazir one time. His name is Ibn Basar. And he was a rough man. He was very rigid. And he had this thing against Islam, This guy has a lot of money, and he was well off. He was very well known merchant in Baghdad at the time. And he had it for him. He just wanted him to hurt him in any which way he can. So one day, he calls him up, and he was just setting him up. Every step of the way, he's trying to set him up. He's trying to get him in jail. He's trying to do something there. And one day he calls him to his castle, the same way subhanAllah, the story is getting repeated. He calls him, he says, tell me about the loaf of bread. Tell me about your mother and your loaf of bread. And this man looks at Ibn Basar goes, I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, you do. Tell me. He goes, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, you do, and tell me. And after he pushed education that I wanted, I needed. And every night, she used to take a loaf of bread. She used to make an extra loaf of bread. And she used to leave it under my pillow. And in the morning, she used to take this loaf of bread and she gives sadaqah. Sadaqah to the poor and the needy. And he goes, how did you know about this? Nobody knows about this except me and my mother and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. He goes, last night I had a dream. I had a dream last night that I was after you and I almost got you. And I got myself right there on your throat. And I'm just right there to stab you and I'm so happy with myself. All of a sudden, I see your mother in front of me waving with the loaf of bread in her hand. Waving the loaf of bread in her hand. Stopping me from killing you. And I said, SubhanAllah, what is that loaf of bread? That's why I called you and I was questioning what that loaf of bread is. Brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not waste a single speckle of good work that you do of shukr to yourselves, to your family, to anything, anybody you do is waiting for you to be paid. It's waiting for you. That deed is waiting for you to get paid. And today, brothers and sisters, we're in dire need to do shukr. To do shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is given, we all know. But we need to do shukr to each other. We need to do shukr to our communities, to our families, to our countries, the places that we live in, the community that has hosted us. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, we live here in safety. We live in safety, alhamdulillah. Our masajid is not being burned, not being bombarded. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, our communities are safe. We don't know that we have not heard, alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, that shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have not seen or heard of any Muslim being hurt or being attacked. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. Let's do some shukr. Let's show our gratitude to the place that we're in. Let's approach our neighbors and talk to them about Islam. Let's talk to our co-workers about Islam. Let's show them a nice smile. Let's not be so defensive all the time, hiding our names, hiding ourselves. Let's show up with gratitude, being thankful, being humble. Let's show our true nature of the true Muslims as the way we are, we should be. Like Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, his companions. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not stop talking in the Quran about al-jar, the neighbor. With that, with Jari the neighbor and the neighbor is right next to you. Twice in one ayah. Twice. Talking about the job. And the job, the other job. And the other neighbor, the one down the street. This is something for us to ponder upon. This is something for us to do truly shukr. To really, really understand the concept of shukr in Islam and how far does it take us. And if we think only the shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has given us, we are really short-sighted. We only got half of the story, or a portion of the story. Portion of the story. We should pay attention, inshallah. We should be more active, inshallah. We should not be reactive. We should be proactive. We should be there in the forefront, with all gentleness, with all politeness, to be cordial, to be truly good Muslims, walking around with nothing but smiles on our faces. If somebody curses at you, somebody cusses at you, you smile back and say thank you. And see what that thank you is going to take you. Shukr. If somebody wants to say something about Islam in front of you, walk away. Walk away and come back later when that person is calm and cool and talking gently and nicely. Maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give hidayah, will give guidance through shukr to others. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from the ones who hear the best words and obey the best words, inshallah. اللهم علمنا بما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا يا رب العالمين. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله واستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعين به ونستغفره ونؤمن به ولا نكفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا ولا نصيرا أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أنزله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. أما بعد. The Sahih Bukhari, this beautiful hadith. Look at this. I mean, I could be talking here for hours and hours. I cannot deliver the message of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. The one who utiya jawami al-kalim, which used to say a few words, and used to understand a lot of it. And today, our khutbah is really long. We just repeat the same stories, we repeat, we talk, and our salah is really short. And this is not the sunnah. Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam used to say a few words, and he used to make a lot of salah. But his message was clear. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from those people who truly emulate the knowledge and fiqh, or try to copy the way of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. The hadith in Sahih Bukhari, and Abi Hurairah radiallahu anhu, hadith of Sahih. Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam talks about three people in the nation of the people before us, the Israelites, the Israel. Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam says the story, he says, an angel came to three people in the days where Bani Israel, that was before Islam. One of them was Aqra, he's a old man. The other one was Abras, he had leprosy, he has a skin condition. And the third one was a blind man. And Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam tells the story that this angel came to the old man and he asked this old man, he says, what can I do for you? What can Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do for you to feel better? So this man says, I just want, for me to get some hair on my head. So people, when they look at me, I don't look too repulsive to them. So the Malik says, you have been given what you asked. And he says, what is it the kind of wealth you have? He says, well, I like camels. And he says, take this pregnant camel, and this is a gift for you. So the angel leaves him and goes. Later, he goes to the second man, which is the one with the leprosy, the skin condition. He looks at him, he says, what is it you want? He says, you know what, I want to find cool skin, so people, when they look at me, they don't find me repulsive. They don't get scared and walk away, run away from me. And the angel says, you have been given what you asked for. And what kind of wealth do you like? He says, I like camels, I like cattle. He says, here's a pregnant cow for you, and you go and you work. And then he goes to the third one, which is the blind man. And notice what he says. He asks, what is it you like? He says, I like to get my eyesight back for me to see other people. Watch. The other two, they wanted the other people to look at them. But the blind man wanted to see others. And he says for him to enjoy or look at other people, for me to see them. So then the angel looks at him and says, you have been given what you want. You want what you want? You have been given your eyesight back. And what kind of property do you like? He goes, I like lamb or sheep. Because here is, a little flock of herd, small herd of sheep, you get to have. And years went by. Years went by. The angel comes back, and to this man, the first one, he was the old man. He looks at him, and mashallah, full of hair, he walked around, handsome, good looking. So he looks at him, and the angel took the shape of a miskeen, a faqir, somebody who was poor. And he looks at him and says, give me from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you. So this bold man, the ex-bold man, he looks at him and goes, no, it's just kind of difficult for me to come by. And the angel, the miskeen, which is the angel, looks at him and goes, look at you, mashallah, you have a whole family full of camels. It's okay for you to give me one, just give me something for me to eat. He goes, no, it's so hard to come by. He goes, did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you this? He goes, no, I inherited this from my parents, my grandparents, from my ancestors. It's old money, you have nothing to do with this. Allah, the angels looked at him, he says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you these camels, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take it away and bring you back to the way you were before. Then the angels go back to the second one, which is the one with the leprosy. And mashallah, this time, his skin is so beautiful, so clean, and he is very good looking, very handsome. He looks at him and he says, can you give me something to eat? I'm a poor man. And he looks at him and he goes, no, it's kind of tough. And he goes, but mashallah, you have a whole, look at this, all this cattle you have. Just give me one for me to eat. And this old man goes, no, I just, this is an old money I had. And I worked so hard for it. I earned it for myself. I cannot give you anything. And the angel looks at him and said, May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take away your cows, your cattle, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala return you back to the same way you were before. And then he goes back to the third one, the ex-blind person. And here, mashallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him so much sheep, so much lamb, just filled up the whole valley side. He looks at him and he goes, Can you give me something? Can you give me something? I'm a poor man. And this man looks at him. He looks at him. Now he has eyesight back. He looks at him and he goes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given me my eyesight. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me this sheep and this lamb. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will replace it. Go in there, get anything you want. It is what has been given to me, I'm giving to you. This angel looks at him and goes, This is a message from you from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you barakah for what He has given you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase your wealth. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make you in better shape. And he did not take a single lamb from it. And let me ask you this, brothers and sisters. How do we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not send us any angels to ask us? How many of us that we were asked and we refused? How many of us, we all know that everything we're all about, even the shirt, even the slightest, anything we have, comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us a lot of things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has saved us from so many near misses accidents on the freeway. You all know that. You go in there texting, making a phone call, and you go, oops, subhanAllah, I was going to hit this car. And you pass by fast like nothing has happened. But guess what? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved you from that accident. That would have broke your back. That probably would have made you paralyzed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved you. And what about, have you returned a favor to someone? Have we returned have we do the true essence of shukr the way we should be? How do we know that if we don't? And I'm telling you this, Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam told us this story because he had a concept behind it. He is telling us that if we don't give back when we're asked, we'll all go away. We'll all be taken away from us. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to put us in total and complete loss and demise. Not here on the face of this earth, but also in the life after. This is a lesson for us, brothers and sisters. Let us be there. Let us give. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will replace. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give and give. Two conditions have to be. I could be as generous as I can be, but I'm poor. My generosity is worthless. Right? Like, somebody have a sale at Macy's. You say the first 100 people go in there, they're going to pay your shoes. Well, guess what? There's only 100 people. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the generous. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the ghani. He's the wealthy that his wealth will never run out. He's the generous. And he's rightfully so the generous because he's the wealthy. Because all the wealth on the face of this earth, if you dip your finger or you dip your finger in an ocean, how much water do you get out of it? How much water is there out? Look at the ocean, how much water is that? That is the wealth of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is only to give us an example. Let's do shukr, brothers and sisters. Let's do shukr. Let's be active in our communities. Let's be there. Let's be in the forefront. Let's not hold back. And if we don't, we will pay the price here. أقول قولي هذا ولا داعي فقول آمين. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات. اللهم آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وقنا عذاب القبر وقنا عذاب الحشر وقنا عذاب الميزان. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. اللهم ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. اللهم ربنا أنت العفو الكريم تحب العفو فاعف عنا. اللهم ربنا أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك يا رب العالمين. اللهم ربنا أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك يا رب العالمين. اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين يا رب العالمين. اللهم كن معنا ولا تكن علينا يا رب العالمين. اللهم ردنا ورد المسلمين أجمعين إلى ديننا ردا جميلا. اللهم كن عفانا المستضعفين في كل مكان يا رب العالمين. اللهم ربنا اشف مرضانا وداوي جرحانا وسدد رميانا وثبت أقدامنا. اللهم ربنا ردنا ورد المسلمين أجمعين إلى ديننا ردا جميلا يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعلنا من